I'm not ready to introduce this show today. Not that I do it every week, but today I'm definitely not.
You've done it quite a few times, I feel like.
That is true.
I think I do it the least.
You did it last week. Jay, when was the last time you introduced the show?
My privilege of doing everything else is that I don't have to introduce the show. I've decided this right now.
Oh, that's how it works. Okay. Well, Hera, take it away.
Yeah, I guess it's me.
Sorry, Hera.
Hello, and welcome to Turnabout Breakdown, a Ace Attorney Let's Play podcast, where we talk about gay lawyers. My name is Sarah.
yeah.
You can find me in places at Hera Chimera. What have I been up to? So for context, it's been like 3 days since we recorded last, so the answer is not a lot. But this morning, I watched the showcase for the upcoming Sonic Amateur Games Expo, and it looked good as hell. This is going to be like 3 or 4 weeks ago by the time it comes out. This episode comes out. It runs for a week, starting on September 7th. No, September 19th. But you can probably access a lot of the demos even after it's ended. You should look into it. There's a lot of games of like different sizes and scopes and styles. It has Sonic in the name. That's because this was invented in like the year 2000 and it's just stayed on that way. But it has lots of other things. Like, there are Picross games. There are a lot of Sonic fan games, don't get me wrong. So if you like Sonic, there's 3D ones, there's 2D ones, there's mods, there's like engines that you can make Sonic content in. There's Wario Land fan games. I think Pizza Tower was like a big feature a couple of years ago in Sage. There's Mario fan games. There's a bunch of like Sonic Riders and what's the Kirby one called? Air Ride style games. It rules. There's so much. It's like one of my favorite games events of the year. I love it so much. I'm trying not to call out specific ones because I don't want to play favorites because it rules. You should go and look at it. There's like 216 titles, I think, this year.
Holy shit.
It's incredible. Go check it out. Also, on the show today, Devon.
Hi, my name's Devon. I am on the internet, but only as a kind of like vestige burned into an old CRT screen. The burn-in on the internet exists, but this is the most online you will find me, to be honest. Where you will find me is either at home doing crafts because it's craft season, or at the gym doing loads of exhausting things. What is good? What is good is the phrase, "the time will pass anyway," which has truly changed how I think about everything. And you don't have to rush anything because you don't have to cram everything in. And it's okay for things to take a long time, including small things like going to the gym. You don't have to maximize your workout and kill yourself in the process. And also, you can just knit and not do anything. And sometimes you can just scroll through your phone. It's okay. Time is always going to move. And that is my esoteric advice for today.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna pass over to Ro.
What was that quote you said, Devon? The time will pass anyway?
Yeah,
About
didn't
how it's
Gandalf
okay
say
to...
that?
Huh?
Didn't Gandalf say that?
Did Gandalf say that?
Gandalf say that? Maybe.
I think I'm mixing
Hold
this
on,
up
I
with
have to-
another quote.
Hold on. Famous Gandalf quotes. The fact that autofilled is scary.
He's a very influential speaker.
I don't think these are Gandalf quotes. I don't
Just
think
timed
these-
out his quotes. Was it just, oh my god, ancient Zengfar wisdom?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Is it Lang
pretty much.
Zi?
Anyway, in immediate contrast to Devon's opinion that things are allowed to take time, I'm here to say no, they're not.
Thank you.
Yay, first fight! Let's go!
My current habits right now are I have successfully 100%ed Hollow Knight Silksong, and I am now trying to get all the speedrun achievements for beating that game in 5 hours, and it's been an experience.
Gosh.
Here's the thing. It's not easy, folks, out there in the ether. Things are difficult sometimes, but sometimes the difficulty is part of the fun. And that's what I just have to keep telling myself as I slowly wear my teeth down to nubs as I grit them in my jaw. That I am having a great time regardless.
Oh, I'm so glad. And like, that's the thing. It's difficult, so you have to do it again and again. But guess what? The time will pass anyway. Just do what you fucking love.
Or I could get it right the first time.
Yeah. Well, sure. You could.
Literally so true.
So true. Jay, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Jay. You can find me on the internet at JM Costello. I've been debating how much I want to disagree with Devon.
Okay, I'm never saying anything again.
No! Here's the thing, you were so beautiful and true about it, Devon, and you were right, but we do disagree with you.
Devon is beautiful and true, except that I've never felt this in my life.
Yeah.
I can recognize its truth while also sort of just emotionally rejecting it on a deep, fundamental personal level. I also am really curious because that's not how I interpret the phrase "the time will pass anyway." I really have always read it as there are things in the world that will take a long time, but that time is gonna happen anyway. It's not about doing things slowly, it's just about that things do take a long time. There's a difference in that to me.
Yeah, no, I agree with
I'm
that.
not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I find
yeah.
your reading very funny.
I think I initially internalized it as like, things will take a long time, so you should do it anyway. And also, like, I think the way that I then step past that is like, well, I don't have to like min-max everything to do it as quickly as possible. Like,
that makes a lot of sense. I think maybe that is you being able to take a step that I can't take because I am always trying to do 700 things at the same time. Because if I stop moving, I will die like a shark. I've said this to Ro before, and Ro was like, sharks don't actually do that, so I'm just putting
some
that as a
sharks
caveat.
do, some sharks don't.
Okay, well.
There are
Depends on
certain
the gills,
types of
right?
sharks that do need to keep moving to survive. There are also certain types of sharks that don't.
Well, I'm one of the ones that does. And Devon's one of the ones that doesn't. And that
we
isn't that
all
the
just
beautiful
different kinds of
tapestry of human
I
experience?
guess.
And I love that for all of us.
Is there a type of shark that has cat ears?
Fuck. Wait.
I really hope so.
Well, there is literally a cat shark.
There is, but I don't think it has cat ears. Hasn't it got like whiskers like a catfish? That's why it's called that.
Is that why? It doesn't really
I
have
think so.
whiskers. It just looks kind of smooth. I'd say, like, honestly, if there were an animal that were a cat, it would. I mean, if there were an animal that were a cat, it would probably be a shark.
Yeah.
Aren't these the ones what can go on land?
No, that's an epaulet shark. I think if I were a shark, I would be a basking shark.
I think I'd be a thresher shark because I do feel that scared all the time.
Is the basking one the one with the big mouth?
Yeah, unless you're thinking of a mega mouth shark, in which case that's a mega mouth shark.
They look so silly with their mouths shut. I love it. They look
Yeah,
like
they
old,
do. They look
old
like gopher
men.
eels.
Yeah. I love them.
Sharks hold many secrets.
God, can we make this a shark podcast?
I could make this a shark podcast. Today's episode is sponsored by the horn shark, a shark that has a spike on its back so that whenever prey bites into it, whenever predators bite into it, they get stabbed by a big spike.
I would simply not bite the spike.
My favourite fact is that sharks have been around for longer than the rings of Saturn.
I thought
I never
the
stopped thinking about this.
North Star as well. But now that you're saying that, I think that maybe isn't true. I think maybe I'm getting them confused.
No, that's true as well. Both of them things are true. It's just the Saturn one. I believe more for some reason.
It
but
is.
They are both
Holy
true.
shit.
Oh, I love angel sharks. They're so flat. I love those guys.
Yeah. They are good. I like wobbegongs.
Oh, wobbegongs are fucking sick.
Hi, what are we here to talk about today?
I
Sharks.
was going to talk about whale sharks. Yeah.
Also included in that are police and legal professionals. They're also sharks, but the bad kind.
Because I'm checking my calendar. I thought I'd walked into the wrong room. But I'm down to talk about the second half of Case 5 of Ace Attorney Investigations.
Oh, go on then. If that is the case, I suppose somebody should have a summary of what happens.
That'd be great.
And I am that person. And I will say I wrote this in like 10 minutes with not very good memory. And also so much happens, but so little happens. So Here we go, gang.
I feel like you guys preface every single one of your summaries with like, oh, this is gonna be shit.
Summarizing
This
a
is gonna
game
be
is
the worst
hard.
thing you've ever heard.
I think it's that thing of like, I just know how much I haven't included, and then that feels bad. But I suppose a summary is supposed to omit. so
Yeah,
much
it's
bullshit,
okay.
so-
We've got a whole podcast to talk about the stuff that isn't included in the summary.
It's true. It's
We'll
true.
win.
All right. The second half of the case opens with us arguing with Sheena and establishing that she is the mysterious figure that Kay saw, and that she is in fact Callisto Yu. At the end of this argument, she holds Kay at gunpoint to try and make her escape. She is stopped by Detective Bad, who explains that the Yatagara suit was actually made up of Faraday, Yu, and himself, and it was through their combined skills that they were able to pull off the crimes. Sheena tries to escape, Bad fires his gun at her, but Lang jumps in the way to save her, and Sheena is arrested. She says that she was not the ringleader, just a puppet of the smuggling ring. Following this, we have a big old think about who is responsible for Manny's death, and who is the leader of the smuggling ring. We realise it is likely Quercus Alba. Through some double bluffing bullshit, we get to reinvestigate Alba's office and figure out the mechanism by which the items were smuggled. We learn that the plates for printing the counterfeit money was concealed within the fake Pyramid Duck statue, and this is why they have been switched. We also circumstantially prove it was Alba who was responsible for the smuggling, and therefore for the murder of Kashi now. The rest of the investigation sees us struggling to get around Alba's extraterritorial rights, which prevents him from being arrested or tried in the American courts. At some point, Lang manages to get Alba fired, so he loses those rights, but we still struggle to prove the crime happened on American soil. It's not until we prove, using a box of samurai dogs with a single drop of blood on them, that Alba murdered Manny Cochin in the dressing room of the Theatrum Neutralis, and therefore he can be taken to trial for his crimes.
Easy.
Mic drop.
We got
So easy.
This, to me, really felt like a tale of two cases.
Yeah.
And I really liked one of them, and I really didn't like the other one. It's the same ones as I was talking about the last episode, so nothing has changed. So we kick off and we get basically the whole of the Babalese side in a pretty short amount of time, and then we spend a long time talking to one guy who employs the very effective nuh-uh strategy.
I fucking hate this dude.
It sucked so bad.
I think genuinely this guy is my least favorite antagonist.
Yeah.
I saw people complaining about this, like, coming into the game, and I get it.
Every time his music kicks off, I just want to flip a table. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, stop having things to say. I don't care. I get it. We can't arrest you. Just shut the fuck up. Massively uncompelling villain that just goes on and on and on. I will be
Guy who
giving this
sucks.
case Smoking Sick style, but I'm saying that through gritted teeth
I see.
and my fingers like clawing into my desk out of rage. So, know that.
Know that regardless of anything that happens in this case, Devin is still going to rate it higher than a majority of cases in the original Ace Attorney trilogy.
Yeah. I'm committed to the bit. I'm sorry. This post-it note on my desktop computer, which has been here since we started playing this game, is doing a lot of heavy lifting.
I want to pick up on something from last episode, because while I was editing it, it drove me crazy that we didn't talk about this. And if I had been listening to the podcast, I mean, I guess I was listening to the podcast and sitting and thinking, why are you not talking about this? We talked about the Alabast and Babalese countries and how they have split from one country. And we talked about the Baltics, and we talked about Germany, and we did not talk about Korea, which is a very, very direct parallel, in my opinion. A much more direct parallel than either of the other two. We talked about how, like, there's a real flatness between, like, where these countries are supposed to be. Rose said in the last episode, Asia is Europe in Ace Attorney. And, so even though they're talking about, like, these countries are supposedly in Europe, it's not really a stretch to be like, there's also this influence. And obviously we have the two countries, one being very open, like encouraging tourism, really wanting to sell things, being very embedded in the international order kind of thing. And then one country being very closed off. It is described as having the strictest import and
that's a great
immigration rules in the world. It has an imperial family, and obviously these two countries were divided by civil war, and Yeah. Sorry, I don't know why that did not occur to me the first time round. But it sure did occur to me thinking about it a little bit more. And I was like, I cannot get started on this episode without talking about it.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I was successfully misdirected by them putting in Europe.
I mean, like, the thing is, it's so deliberately shallow that, like,
Yeah.
the parallels are not that easy to, immediately pick up on necessarily.
You can apply it to any sort of country where there has been conflict. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
It could be North and South Dakota.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if I thought they cared any more about the parallels, then I would be like, this should have been obvious, but I don't think they do. So.
Yeah.
And again, it's not like they're trying to say like these kinds of systems necessarily cause these kinds of crimes to happen. It's just kind of like, there's a big mastermind. Don't worry about it. Like,
There's a
it's
bad
not political
guy.
commentary.
I think they are not trying to do anything thematic here. They are just trying to do, like, use them as plot devices, so.
Yeah.
However, when you do that, you also do say things thematically, so it is worth bringing it up.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd also like to address something I said last episode. I don't know if alabaster paper actually gets mentioned a single time in this case. I think I made that up.
It doesn't.
I don't think it does. Because I remember the last time we recorded, you mentioned it, so I kind of had my like eye out for it. I didn't notice anything.
Doesn't come up a single time. Not important. Or even real,
Like
maybe.
that bink.
No, it is real because it's on the flyer about the two embassies. Except it's called Cordopian paper,
Yes. Yeah.
but it is produced in Alabama.
Co-paper.
But no one cares
Not
about
A-paper.
that because it's
no
all
one
about
gives a
Bink.
fuck.
It's all about bink.
It's all about Bink.
That fancy bink that burns so green.
They never said what was special about the Cordopian paper anyway.
Because it's not a plot device. Like, they only
it's
give
not
a shit
important.
about that.
They only give a shit about plot devices or flavor text that is a throwback. Like, this
Yeah.
is it. This is
Oh
this
my god, those
entire
are
case.
the two ingredients.
Yeah, that's how they made this game. Those two things
That's what
plus
this cake is
Malvo
made
Jeff.
of. God. It's incredibly stupid. I love it. Also, this case was hell.
Alright, where did we leave off?
Everyone's hanging out in the Theatrum Neutralis. Like, everyone is hanging out in the Theatrum Neutralis.
We find out that Lang is so angry at prosecutors and is really invested in the smuggling ring because of the counterfeit money has just financially destroyed Zengfar, and he's trying to get some kind of like justice / retribution for that. Which is a useful thing to learn at this stage of the game. And then we decide to talk to Sheena, right?
Yeah, that's what we're here for. We have to confront her. The main way this confrontation goes down is that we recount the events of the fire and murder on the Babalese side. We get a map. That's exciting.
Yay.
Showing Manny's office and the room next to it and the corridors outside of it. We love maps.
Maps are the best evidence.
And so we have to recall who was in the area, which was really annoying because I picked Gumshoe, which this is wrong. Can't do that. It's Sheena was in the area. 2 seconds later, it's confirmed that Gumshoe was in the area. I mean, I guess it makes sense because we are accusing Sheena of being very suspicious.
What if you could just take a turn and be like, it was Gumshoe the whole time?
It was Gumshoe. Get this man out of my fucking life.
Get this cop away from me.
Edgeworth would never say that. I'm sorry.
No, sadly.
He loves law.
And then we take a look at our funny Lotta photo a little bit. We take a look at it even more later on, but we just established that it was taken before the fire, so the only way the person who ran into the room could have escaped is through the fireplace. And this is when we really start drilling into Sheena's testimony.
Yeah, that's weird, because she was in the next room where the fireplace goes to. And then something weird happens. Sheena starts giggling in a way that's weirdly familiar.
There's like a heartbeat sound, which I don't think I've ever noticed before, which is so creepy.
Is that not what it sounds like when you giggle?
Nope. As anyone listening to this podcast will know, I never stop fucking giggling. Jesus Christ. And then everyone kind of realizes that they've heard that laugh before. But then also, immediately, some of them seem to forget this, which is very strange.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's not important.
God.
It's Callisto Yu. I knew this. I had her number immediately.
Everyone give her a round of applause again.
Woo! Wait. There we go. The mic
solved
picked
the
up that
case.
time. Yay! Oh God.
Okay, you can stop now.
Thank
You're
you.
making me uncomfortable.
Me too. And I don't know why. So we realise that it's Callisto Yu. She denies being Callisto Yu.
You're still going for the angle to confirm whether she crawled through the fireplace. Lang is still solidly in her corner because Lang doesn't want to believe that his faithful secretary is a crazy, scary serial killer lady.
Lang is ride or die for his weird girl in exactly the way that you should be, and we get confirmation of this a little bit later.
Wait, he says that she's one awesome woman who knows how to manage.
It's true.
Girl boss.
That's true.
That's true.
You've got to protect your girl bosses. Ultimately, it comes down to, like, if she crawled through the fireplace, we need to have some evidence that she did that, and we know that if she crawled through the fireplace, she will have the ashes, which... Oh, no, there was spilled Barbaley's ink in the fireplace, which would have got on her coat, which we send Gumpshoe to go and look for, and it's in that room because no one investigated it, because she wouldn't let anyone investigate it. We get the coat.
This coat is stylish as hell.
It's so
It's a good
good.
coat.
It's
Let's tear
so
it up
good.
with scissors.
She's like, I'm always covered in ink and ash, don't worry about it.
Well, it was good. Her alibi was that she was helping put out the fires that were happening earlier in the day. And that's why she's covered in ash. And the ink, that's just what the coat looks like. That's a style choice.
And then I did the most wonderful misremember ever, where I just thought we just set her coat on fire while she was wearing it.
That's
because I merged
so
that
fun.
and something that happens later on. But we just cut it off and set it on fire. And hey, what do you know? It glows green.
Then Sheena has two of the most fun back-to-back freak-out
God.
things you can do, which is she has a more fucked up breakdown laughing animation where she is cackling and you can see that she has fucking fangs in her mouth. It's
She
great.
leans
So
back
good.
and like spreads her arms out and like howls with laughter, and her eyes are all scary and her teeth are all big. It's really good.
And then
It's
she
really good.
immediately, as with Callisto Yu and the last time we saw her, pulls out a gun.
Yeah, she grabs Kay. She's like, you're the one person I remembered from that case 7 years ago or whatever it is. And I'm like, the 8-year-old. Okay. Fine.
She had a really unique sense of style.
She
Very
did.
true.
It's so true.
No one else remembered her, but
She also maybe wants the little thief.
Yes, because she reveals that she is in fact the real Yatagarasu.
yeah. As she's holding Kei hostage, she does the other thing that she loves to do, which is just tweet it all out. She's like, no, I really was the Yatagarasu, and it was 3 of us. It's the three-legged raven, me and Faraday and Bad. And then they explain what their jobs were and how they help them be thieves, and it's the most tangential connections you could imagine in your whole life. Detective Bad, he was able to cover stuff up because he was a cop. Now that makes sense. Callisto Yu, being a defense attorney, was able to gain access to people's...
To like organizations, like blueprints
Yeah.
and
It
layouts.
makes no sense.
I don't understand what that's for. And then, what was the thing that Kay Faraday could do? It was something... It was
He
like...
had the little thief,
Use his
right?
powerful logical mind.
Yeah, he had the little thing, but I think they were also like, oh yeah, he was able to get like codes to safes and stuff
Doesn't make
because
any
he was
fucking
a prosecutor. What are you talking about? Also, there's a CG for this, and I suddenly realized that Vern Faraday has the thief pattern that we talked about last time, which is really fun. And I also really like the idea of him just walking around with that and being like, no, I'm not the Yatagarasu, don't even worry about it.
By the way, can I have your safe codes? We didn't really talk about who the Yatagarasu was or wasn't last week, because it was just kind of assumed that, like, Callisto Yu was full of shit.
Yes.
How do you both feel about this reveal?
It should have been very obvious to me from the get-go that the Yatagarasu was going to be 3 people because it's called the Three-Legged Raven, and I feel dumb for not figuring that out sooner.
Yeah, it seemed pretty clear that Bad was, at the very least, an accomplice. Like, he was too close to everything to to not, and he didn't seem stupid.
Yeah, I thought Bad was like in on it with Faraday from the previous
that was the
case
impression
anyway.
I got.
Yeah.
But this is like very compelling to me that it was all three of them. I think it's very cool. I want the Yatagarasu prequel game.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's a cool concept, but I just think it doesn't have enough room, because we only find out right at the end of, well, there's that whole confusion in case 3 where, like, Callisto is like, I'm the Yatagarasu, and then immediately after that, Kay's like, well, no, she wasn't, because it was my dad, because I'm the... I mean,
Yeah.
there's that whole confusion through that whole case, right? Because you're like, well, we do think it was Bern Faraday, because Kay thinks it was her dad. So that case is, like, super unclear. And then... Wait, no, was that was the last case, right? And then there's this one. And you just find out, like, it was both of them. But, like, I don't know, they just don't linger on it. I wish that there was, like, yeah, I mean, the
I wish
prequel
they'd
game
spent
would
more
rule.
time on this, because this is maybe the most compelling thing in the entire game to me. It's fun. It's fun to think about.
I mean, I don't think this is necessarily the best solution, but even just having the last case first in some ways, like, I know it's shit starting with a flashback, but at least A, we would have met Kay sooner, B, you've got more time to build, like, Yatagarasu stuff, and, like, C, the whole order of the game would feel a bit less, like, fucky anyway. I don't think it's a great solution. I think there's better ways to write it, but yeah.
I think the thing is, we don't
see
see any of the cool shit that the Yatagarasu does, even though we're told that they do cool shit. Like, they're supposedly, like, stealing...
I mean, they did stuff, but all of the stuff that they did was really stupid.
I know, but, like, allegedly they did cool stuff that we don't see, that they don't get into at all. And it's like, I don't know how you would do that, but, like, I want to see, like, one of their successful heists where they, like, reveal information to people that couldn't be found through the courts. Like, that's a very compelling premise that they keep talking about but never actually doing anything with.
Yeah, I completely agree.
They should do an Ace Attorney where you do crime instead of solve crime.
They should do that.
I'm imagining, like, a kind of GTA style game, but instead of police chasing you, it's just like thousands of phoenixes to Edgeworth.
Oh,
It's just copy pasted.
You could mod that.
I don't know if I like that.
I don't know if I want it, but I think that would be funny if it existed. Also, we've only known Bad for 5 minutes. Like, even just for him to have this turnaround, it could have... Yeah, all of this deserved more time.
Like the idea of you and Faraday being rivals in court but working together like this, it builds so well on what we've got with Phoenix and Edgeworth. And we don't, like, it doesn't really get brought up even a little bit. And we also have this, like, great tragedy of you being, like, meant to betray them the whole time. It's good. It's, like, It's good. It's better than what they do for the rest of this case.
Which is basically completely detached from everything we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, she says that line about, like, I was destined to betray everyone from the very beginning. Like, that's really compelling. I want to know why she did that. Why did she get to this point? But we don't have anything. Like, not
like, I want to play that story where you get betrayed. where you witness that betrayal.
Like, thinking about a game, like, sorry to do game design on the podcast, where you play as these 3 characters. You've got, like, you do, like, the infiltration, you've got the, like, court scenes, and, like, then the investigations where you cover it up. That rules.
Oh, that
That's
rules.
so
Every day
cool.
we're making better Ace Attorney.
The thing is like, imagine a world where it's Kay, Emma, and Maya as the Yatagarasu, though. Ultimately unstoppable, and their abilities are much more useful than I can get the codes.
I don't know.
I
feel like the ability for one of the legs of the Yatagarasu to channel spirits does elevate it to a level that is nigh unstoppable.
Yeah, exactly. But it's okay. She's a spirit medium in training.
Like, when you think about it, the spirits would also have to be willing to cooperate. So you'd have to, like, channel a spirit and then give the spirit the rundown as to what the plan is, and the spirit would need to be fully on board with that.
This is great. I mean, you could channel, like, criminals who love to do this shit.
I love to do crime.
You could get, like, corporate secrets from dead people. What have they got to lose?
Yeah. I want this game. Make it happen.
We get all this stuff with Callisto, and then Detective Bad, sort of out of nowhere, is just like, yeah, I was in the Yatagarasu, you better arrest me now. And it's just like,
Yeah.
shut the fuck up. You didn't have to do that.
What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
That?
I mean, I know why. It's because they were just like, you know, we want to get like the thing out there about it being. Well, I think this is kind of emblematic of it, right? Because they're like, we want to get the thing out. Like, there's a fact that we have, and it's that the Yatagarasi was these 3 people, and like, so we're gonna get it out there by like Detective Bad like turning himself in, basically. But they don't like that has like an emotional weight to it that they just don't like. That they don't give any emotional weight to, because it's just like, here's the fact, and not like, here's the repercussions of that.
Or even like, here's why he decided to do it at this moment. Did he feel backed into a corner? Did he feel like there was no other way out? Did he try everything else and this was just the final thing he could do? Like, it's just, I guess since she's about to shoot somebody, I guess I'll just dob myself. Like, he could have totally scapegoated her, and he would have had every right to do so, but like... He didn't. He just randomly confesses. It's not like there's no reason for him to do that other than just drama, like vapid drama.
I mean, if you look at it like thematically, is what they're saying is that you shouldn't do crime to get the truth, and that's why he's got to go to jail. Like,
unironically, yes, I do think they're saying that, and we'll get to that more with the Alba stuff, and it's stupid.
It's very stupid.
It's really stupid.
So Callisto is still holding Kay at this point. Bad appears out of nowhere behind her and reveals that he was the third leg of the Yatagarasi.
Does a nothing personnel kid movement.
And then he fucking shoots her.
Yeah.
Except...
But wait.
Oh, wait.
Fastest man on Earth.
Who takes the bullet?
It's her boss. He's just the best boss ever. He would take a bullet for his employees, and he's not joking.
He's like... simultaneously grappled her and also stood in the way of the bullet, which, to be fair, only hit him in the leg. I think she'd have been fine.
And it doesn't seem to bother him for the rest of the case, so maybe it was just like a really gentle bullet, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, now that you mention it, Hera, he really didn't need to do that. Because Callisto wouldn't have died.
He's boss of the year, though.
He's boss of the year. But if Bad... Because in this picture, in my notes, Bad is like maybe 3 or 4 feet away from Callisto with his gun trained at her back. If Lang stood in between them, that bullet would have just gone through them both if it shot them in the chest.
Yeah. And then Callisto continues to tweet it out. She reveals that she killed Faraday because Faraday stole Manny's key. And then she says that she didn't kill Manny. And then she leaves.
The her not killing Manny thing, I feel like I even forgot that was the case. Like, that does feel a bit surprising.
She's never actually killed anyone.
She's never killed anybody.
She's never done anything wrong, actually.
She's actually perfect. And then we just kind of have a bit of a think for a moment, don't we?
As usual.
Kay, Fran, Edgeworth, maybe Lang, definitely Gumshoe. And we're all just having a little think.
I feel like this is the one of like 5 times throughout this half of the case where you reorganize everything in your inventory.
Everyone also keeps just being like, oh, Edgeworth, we trust you so much to like get to the truth on this. And it's like, I don't know, it feels weirdly like glazing. I really didn't like it. It keeps happening.
You leave this room for... No. Like, you stay in this room for the entirety of the rest of this case.
Yeah.
It's so boring.
And then the next thing that happens is that one of Alba's retinue shows up and is like, we found Mr. Edgeworth. And I'm like, yeah, he's been here the whole time.
Yeah. It's really funny because you're having this think about like, who could be the lead of the smuggling ring and the person who killed Manny and blah, blah, blah. And then like Alba walks in like 2 seconds later and it's just like, okay, in case you forgot.
Yeah, and he's like, I want you to leave. I don't want to do this anymore.
I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah.
We also find out that Yu is not, in fact, Cease's sister.
Yeah, I wish they'd lingered on this as well.
Yeah, she mentions that she has a lot of names. I think it's Bad that says that she isn't Yu's sister because he gives us the KG8 files.
Yeah.
Well, she says straight up that Callisto Yu was just a pseudonym, and then Bad corroborates that later.
Yes. And he gives us some evidence. He says that he forced Armano to hand over the videotape, is that right? No, we got the videotape from Jack.
We got the videotape from Bad? Because he's like, here's the evidence that like you can't use in trial because it's illegal. And it's the videotape and it's the calling card, I think.
Yes, the calling card was in the KG8 file that it is revealed that Bad stole from the office in case 1. Mm-hmm.
He was your unknown assailant.
Why he did that? Not 100% clear.
Well, the thing about this is that he's like, I guess, why did he steal it from your office? But he's like, look, you can't use these pieces of evidence. The duck book would not allow this. But my point is that the Yatagarasu, like, does stuff outside the law because the law is fallible. And at this point I wrote, well, the Yatagarasu is right. And I was like, what is the game gonna do about this? And then the game kind of forgets about it until right at the end. At which point it will get to it. But it doesn't really figure out what the fuck it's saying.
Yeah.
It's so weird what they do with this.
At this point, Detective Bad is like, there are people who are outside the law, and Malzethra says, quote, there is no limit to the law, to which I wrote, dude, wake up. But then the rest of the game, I mean, it doesn't get there. we will get there, but it doesn't know what it wants to say about this. And also, like, it has not set up this. I know we've talked about the Yatagarasu being like, you know, that's their whole thing, is like getting evidence outside of the law. But again, because we never saw them really doing anything to do with that, the game has not really dug into this idea as a theme. And so bringing it up now, again, it's just like, it's really quick, and it's like buried under like 500 plot things that it's trying to do at the same time.
Yeah.
So yeah, pacing and thematically wise, not sure this case is all the way together. Speaking of which, here is Alba.
Yeah, somewhat thematically, the clock has ticked over past midnight. We are now in a new day. Oh, also, we got some hair sticks from Callisto.
Oh, fun present.
Chekhov's hair sticks.
Kay wants us to hang on to them for some reason.
And Edgeworth only knows how to hold on to things by putting them in his evidence folder.
Yeah, in his Gale
Surely this
organizer.
will come in useful later.
He doesn't have anything else to carry him with.
Alba says we can't investigate his side of the embassy, and so Lang is like, no, but I know it was Franziska who killed Master Mask, so I'm gonna go investigate that now. A move that both Hera and Ro did not fall for, but I did. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I said this to Ro earlier, and Ro pointed out that, like, this is very in character for him, so I felt a bit better.
My notes say, I can't tell if Lang is bluffing or if he's just stupid.
I knew it was bluffing.
Notably, we watched the VCR before this happens. We watched the videotape.
Yeah.
And on that tape, you see Manny Kochin sneaking into the place where the murder happened.
He is walking into the apartment building where he killed Cecile.
And he's literally holding a knife and a calling card.
Yeah, he's just
like an idiot.
holding them like out in the open.
Oh my god.
Being caught on a security camera. Some really high quality security cameras as well, because we can also see that he came to the apartment building in an embassy car with the flags of Cortopia on it.
It's just incredibly stupid. Like, what? This smuggling ring is meant to be like so amazingly covert and impossible to stop, and they're just walking around in fucking broad daylight like this.
I think the purpose of the Yatagarasu was to, like, basically cover the tracks of people who did murders as badly as Manny Kochin did.
yeah, absolutely. Like, he only got away with all that he did is because everyone around him was just more competent.
So we do leave the front room of the embassy.
Oh, you're
now.
right.
We go to Alabast. And we investigate. Now, basically what happens here is a very long sequence of finding out what evidence was moved from which embassy to where, how, and when. And it takes a long time.
It takes so long, and there's some real bullshit that goes on. But we learned that the two statues were swapped via some kind of pulley system that was operated using the wire we found in the clock, which was fired across, between the two embassies using the crossbow that is in Alba's office, and then kind of attached to the ceiling fans.
This was funny to me, because we are talking about Chekhov's gun so often, and this case has a literal Chekhov's gun in it.
Yeah, it did not. The thing is, okay, this crime it's really good because it turns out that the hair sticks were in fact the, like, support sticks for Alba's flowers that he's growing on the windowsill. But what they are is actually crossbow bolts. So he's been working on this one for some time.
Are they crossbow bolts on purpose?
They seem to claim that they are,
I didn't pick up on that.
but maybe
If it
not.
was like he intentionally fashioned crossbow bolts into flower sticks.
Yeah, it's not.
pretty
clear,
funny.
because from here on out, like, once you've discerned that they were fired from a crossbow, they are just referred to as crossbow bolts. And I believe they are said as such, like, in the organizer.
He must be a pretty dang good shot with that crossbow.
Yeah, seriously.
It's part of the embassy training. Crossbow trials.
Yeah, he actually knows how to use every single one of those weapons that's displayed in his office. He knows every
Including
Steel
the
Samurai special
spear.
move.
Yeah.
Can I also just say, I don't know how the fuck they made a pulley system out of a wire and 2 ceiling fans. I don't think that you can do that.
Hera, I'm not gonna lie, I was so excited for your, like, engineering takedown of the pulley system. I was so ready for this.
So here's the pulley system in full. Length of wire tied around both the fan at the Alabast Embassy and the fan at the Cordopian Embassy, which is 3 floors lower down?
2 floors.
2 floors lower down. And in that process, both the heavier real Primaduck statue and the hollow fake Primaduck statue are transported on either side of the wire, so that the leverage for, so the heavier one is moving down and the lighter one is moving up.
Yeah, so the thing, like, powering the pulley is the weight of the heavier statue.
Yeah. And also the fans just being on, I guess.
No, they wouldn't have been on. It is literally just gravity.
Okay. That is the pulley system in its entirety, is that. It's stupid. And they covered the statue in cloth so that people would not see it and I guess think it was the Yatagarasu, and that's the picture that we got earlier from...
Lotta,
What's her name? Yeah.
who is unnamed in this case.
Unnamed footage analyst. Also, this isn't even invisible wire.
Well, it at a distance it might have been harder to see.
Yeah, but she had it on photograph images.
These crossbows, like, I guess they kind of have flights. They have this, like, the circular disc on them, which was used to tie the wire around.
Well, here's the thing. In the CG they show of someone shooting the arrow, it does have flights on it. It has, like, a feathered flight pinion.
Weird.
Yeah.
Also, how fucking long would that wire have to have been? Like, it's shown as just this tiny little coil. There would be, like, so much wire, like meters and meters and meters and meters of the stuff.
It
Like,
would have, it's
spans
got to be
between
enough
an
to
entire
double back
building.
from either side of the embassy, so it would
Yeah.
have to be, like, I'm
So
guessing,
much.
like, 40 meters of wire,
Yeah.
minimum.
Again, it's like it's a game, and it doesn't have to be so realistic. But then when there's just so much of this shit, it's like, what are you talking about?
This is the bridge in the last game over again.
I know we're complaining about this, but I do think conceptually this is convoluted enough to be very cool to me.
Yeah.
It is.
Like,
It's a great puzzle.
And then once they were done with the pulley, he loaded the other side, the bolt on the other side to fire the rest of the wire over to the other side. Very funny.
I think, like, what I felt a lot throughout this case is, like, there's some absolute stupid shit that goes on, but, like, the puzzles are engaging and figuring things out is fun for the most part. It's just when you get bogged down in testimony, it's like, I'm going to kill somebody.
It's also not super clear when this happened. It was after the first 2 fires.
There are only 2 fires.
Sorry, it was after the fire on the 4th and 5th floor, but before the fire on the 3rd floor.
Right.
Betwixt the fires. Okay.
So it's very tight time frame. So yeah, impressive.
Yeah. He can move quick.
And I didn't clock any of this at all. I saw the crossbow on the wall and I was like, that's a crossbow. Cool.
Well, it doesn't get
Yeah, I
added to
didn't clock it
your
either.
evidence at any point, so
yeah,
it's
you don't
very
really
like
talk about it at all.
no, it's fun. It's fun. This is one of my
is.
favorite parts of the case, probably.
I think they should do that more, is the thing. It's like, instead of using things that are in your evidence thing that are obviously going to be used at some point to
Yeah.
contribute to unraveling the mystery, is like, take a look at the environment and immediately discern the function of something in this narrative.
Yeah.
And I think this game could do that well because it also has so much just like flavor text about everything. It's going to be a fun thing to try and discern like what is actually from the crime and what is just fun stuff, you know?
Instead of putting things into everything, into evidence, just put like a marker on everything that you think could have been crimed upon or with.
That's fun.
And so the way this all plays out is that Lang's argument is that Franziska would have been the only one able to transport the items between the embassies because she was the one who had free reign, basically. And this is us unraveling that by saying, hey, not only was a third item moved between embassies, and by the way, we're holding like 2 or 3 more items that were also transported between the embassies.
Yeah, this line of questioning pissed me off. Because it's like, Lang is talking about how the statues were swapped and the knife was transported between the embassies. So he's like, oh, a knife and a statue were transported. And what you're supposed to say to him is like, oh, actually, a knife and 2 statues were transported, you idiot. But like, both you and Lang are already fully aware that both statues were transported because they were fucking swapped. It's like an implicit established part of the narrative at this point.
And you're holding these hair sticks where you're standing in the same room as 2 more of them.
In your inventory, you have steel samurai hot dogs.
Yeah. Anyway, we examine the fake statue again.
Rip its head off.
Tickle his chin.
Rip its head off right now. Like, what's going on in here?
It's got a secret compartment.
It's got the printing plates on it.
Inside the fake hollow Primadux statue are the printing plates that were used by the smuggling ring to print Zengfar money and ruin the country's economy.
Yeah. Why Zengfar? We're never really told why Zengfar. Why is it worth ruining their economy as opposed to anywhere else's? Like, I don't...
Because it's funny.
Yeah. Because it makes Lang sad, I suppose.
This raises an important question. Was Callisto you race faking?
Well,
Yeah.
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 I think she was.
Yeah, I think she was.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Sorry,
Oopsie.
Callisto, you have been cancelled.
Before she was just girl bossing, now she's a racist.
Yeah.
Get out of here. The girl boss to racist pipeline. Ugh, it's too
They made her look like Hugh Laurie and Cloud Atlas.
Oh, God.
Then we get to the heart of the Master 2 murder. He was simply there when Alba walked in, so Alba bonked him on the head with the bottom of the statue.
And he just happened to die.
And that's it. That's all. But we don't linger on it.
No. And also, so, okay, I think at this point he doesn't admit to it, but he just starts shouting about extraterritorial rights,
Right,
maybe. Yeah. At some point shortly after this, he does admit to it because who fucking cares? We can't arrest him anyway. And he shows us a wound that he's got on his collarbone that was made presumably when he killed Master 2.
Oh wait, we have a very important moment before that happens.
Oh yeah, so true.
We debate whether we should use our fake evidence. Not our fake evidence, our illegal evidence.
Yeah.
I kind of want to straight read these screenshots because I don't know what the game is doing here, and I feel like 1, saying out loud might help, and 2, I kind of want to get across how little of it there is. I know they
The
do
theme of
things
the game,
quickly, and they can sometimes do
12
things
lines.
quickly, but in this case they did not. So, this is all Edgeworth thinking to himself. I no longer follow the path of Manfred von Karma, and I won't follow the path of the Yatagarasu. This leaves me with what? What creed will I believe in? If I want to pursue the truth, then I will sully my hands in illegality, and if I want to pursue justice, then I will lose the truth. What is the law, and what is justice? And what path is a prosecutor supposed to follow? That choice is one I must make by my own hand, here and now. What are you talking about?
And then
Yeah, what is
you
it
have to
about?
make the choice whether to use the fake evidence or not. This choice does not matter, because if you choose
Nope.
not to use it, he does it anyway.
So, the game, yeah, like you say, Edgeworth does end up using the false evidence, which is bizarre because the beginning of this is I don't follow the path of Manfred von Karma and I won't follow the path of the Yatagarasu, which he immediately does follow the path of the
he lies.
Yatagarasu. He is making the equivalence of this with von Karma, which is doesn't make any sense. I understand why Edgeworth might think that, but the game hasn't had any exploration of that since the trilogy, so if you haven't played the trilogy, that's not going to make any fucking sense to you whatsoever. And so he's raising this question about, okay, first question, what creed will I believe in? Well, he then immediately comes around on the Yatagarasu thing, so I guess he does agree with that, at least at this point. Like, I think we kind of come back to this a little bit later, so I don't know where he lands on that, but... And then these lines about If I want to pursue the truth, I will sully my hands in illegality. That is true. He presents illegal evidence. No, it's not true. He's not in court. He's not doing anything illegal right now. If I want to pursue justice, I will lose the truth. Okay, that is implying that the meaning of the word justice, which he now asks in a minute, is only doing things that are legal, something I would very much disagree with, personally. And which path is a prosecutor supposed to follow? Interesting question. I wish that they had addressed that in this game ever at all.
Vigilante justice is just when a guy does nothing.
Yeah, that's so true.
Okay, do you want to read what he says when he decides?
Yeah, he presents the illegal evidence. There is no limit to the law. Any limit that exists was set there by man. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Literally, Harris' note.
Laws were made up by human beings. That is true.
He then clarifies, in huge scare quotes, when a person goes beyond that limit, then the law too crosses into a new territory. No, that doesn't make any sense. For what reason were laws were invented? The answer to that is what I must now show. So now Edgeworth is arguing that the law is doing whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah.
What does this mean?
Just so weird. It's so weird. It makes no sense.
He's like, okay, I can't be like Von Karma, I can't be like the Yatagarasu. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do exactly what they would do, but with my own justification that's somehow even more fucked up.
But it's legal, because the law is whatever
You
a
say
man
it is.
does.
Yeah.
The law is whatever you do. What?
He learns cognitive dissonance is what happens. And oh boy, does that help him.
If that was true, and now you dug into that would be fun as fuck.
Yeah,
honestly,
there is a
pretty
version
good.
of this where I could be like, yeah, that is a thing that a fucked up, stupid Edgeworth would believe.
And, like, he has done that in the past. They kind of retconned it in this game, but he has shown illegal evidence because he believed that everyone at that call was guilty, and he needed to do anything that he could in order to get them arrested for that, and put in prison for that, and / killed for that. Like, this, in theory, isn't a new question for him. It's just, like, what he's doing it for is different. That's a fun thing to explore.
Even post good guy Edgeworth, he still, like, basically found loopholes in legal process to ensure that people he personally believed were guilty got convicted.
Yeah.
We also have examples in the trilogy of Phoenix doing this, like, extra legal, like, just persuading people to confess in court. Like, when Phoenix lied to Furio Tiger's face about what he was holding, and Furio Tiger was like, no, you're holding the poison ball, and he was like, lol, how did you know that? And it's like, I think the game is going to continue asking these questions, and I think this is one of the most incoherent examples of it. But I think when you start taking them together, it gets even more incoherent.
I literally, like, this is clearly the, like, quandary that the game has been setting up the entire time. And this answer, I literally could not get my head around it. I was like, I don't know what Edgeworth is saying here. And, like, talking about it now, I'm better acquainted with it, but it's still not good.
I would argue that it hasn't been setting up this whole time.
Yeah, I don't think it has either. I mean, like, the only setup it has is just like, oh, Edgeworth has to work with someone who is a self-proclaimed thief, and he's a lawyer. And,
I'm not saying they set it up
and
well.
He's so over it.
Right, and like allegedly this is what the Yatagarasu does, but we've never dug into what that actually looks like.
That's what Edgeworth does too. He's been doing this shit the whole time.
Yeah, that's the thing, it's not set up at all. And then, we'll get to this later, but then the like right turn to this whole thing with Alba could be a way of like digging more into like, well, who's above the law, and then how do you, in Edgeworth's eyes, extend the law so that you can get them.
Here's the thing. We've done this before in case 1-2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so like there's these other examples in the trilogy that are just so much better done. But in this case, we turn into this, like, as Harris said, like almost a second case with this case against Alba. And he's set up as this beyond the law kind of person. And then they don't mesh the two things together. There's no investigation of like, could the Yatagarasu have got this guy in a much easier way? We do end up getting him. Although, wouldn't it be more interesting if you couldn't get him through the law and you had to get him in a Yatagarasu kind of way? And also, I realized that like they approach doing this beyond the law thing with a lot of the other characters in a lot of the other villains in this game, which is that Jacques was a prosecutor who could have like wormed his way out of it somehow. Amano had all that money and he should have been able to like get away with it just by like being like, no, you can't investigate my haunted house and stuff like that. I mean, I guess in that case, the Yatagarasu was proof, right, in that way, because Little Thief is how we solved that case. And then Callisto escapes. So like there's every character has a way of like being beyond the law, but they just get swept away so easily. I guess it is this thing that Edra said that's just like, nah, if I try hard enough, then the law comes to me, basically. I don't know, it's not satisfying, and I think that there was a way of tying these threads together that they just don't do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very shallow.
It's so shallow.
So then we go downstairs to watch a videotape with Albert.
Ooh, video time with friends.
So what happens is we watch the videotape with Albert. We claim that Albert was in the car.
Yeah, Albert has his first like breakdown, like sprite change where he becomes like an upright guy. He's not stooped anymore. And he has a big military medal on his jacket that he keeps playing with. And he says, I'm the only person in the world who has this medal, as in the background the video
It's clearly
is showing
visible
with
in the
a
freeze
guy
frame.
Yeah.
Absolute clownery.
And then he says, you can't arrest me.
Yeah.
I don't get how you can have a guy set up to be the main antagonist of an entire game and have him immediately from the get-go be a massive fucking idiot.
I mean, it could be effective because, like, he's just getting away with it based on his, like, extraterritorial status. Unfortunately,
actually,
that becomes so annoying that no one likes it ever. And two, like, again, that would be good if you were then using that as thematically, like, okay, well, if some people are beyond the law, then what do you do? But what actually happens there is you spend 3 hours proving that he is within the law. What?
Yeah,
Why?
it would have been nice
that?
if he was just like blatheringly incompetent, but could get away with it anyway because of his like protections. This guy didn't need to be a maniacal genius to get away with all of this stuff. He just had to be someone with power and sway.
Yeah, and that's what we see with Red White in case 1 too, and then the way he is brought down is with Mia, like blackmailing him or
he beats the shit out of Phoenix Wright with his bare hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mia is literally doing Yatagarasu bullshit in that case, like.
Yeah.
It's just been done better.
It's just been done better within this own series.
We've got to kill this guy. If we can't arrest him, we've got to kill him.
I mean, Lang is going to bite him.
Yeah.
That is going to happen, and it won't be in an affectionate way. So that's fun. And this is where we heard the word extraterritoriality for one of the first times, but we're going to hear it a bajillion times for the rest of this case.
Well, as soon as you hear it for the first time, after it fades back in from the to be continued, you hear it like another 2 or 3 more times immediately.
Yeah. And it gets really annoying.
Yeah, it does.
And then he leaves.
Because we keep forgetting, and then we keep doing the same thing. So we decide to keep investigating, and then Poleno shows up, and I only know this because I wrote the note, look at Poleno's radiant smile. I love this man so much!
Your obsession with this guy is fascinating to me, Devin, because he is like the most... He is like the least impactful character in this entire case.
I know!
When does Poleno show up?
I just love him.
Hera doesn't even remember the guy.
I don't know when he shows up. I thought it was way later than that.
There is a bit where, like, because of Alba's reactions to everything that's going on, Edgeworth does call Poleno the greatest victim in today's case, which I think is an insane thing to think for a double homicide.
Yeah, it is. And also, like, the thing is I love Poleno as a character mostly because when I was, like, a people pleaser teenager, seeing Poleno sometimes be a bit assertive was like, oh, it's possible. We can be better. We can do better. And I will always be an absolute loser for that kind of character, even though he's so throwaway and unimportant. Where was I going with this? But also, something that's not really brought up or explored as a theme, which I think would be really, like, worth doing, and maybe make Poleno a bit more of a rounded character, is that he just let Manny do whatever he wanted. He did not stop him. He did not question anything. He just accepted that he had an amazing secretary who did all of his work for him, and at no point thought to stop and be like, hang on, this man has an awful lot of power over things, and there's some weird shit going on that I don't really understand. Maybe I should, like, think about this and do something about this. Maybe he was someone who could have stopped Manny. I don't know, but make him worse.
Yeah, make him worse.
Yeah. Anyway, I still think he's amazing and I love him, so there's that.
I like him too.
The scene has changed.
Yay!
There's new things in the Theatrum Neutralis.
There's new
There's a nice
thing.
picture.
There's new thing in the theater. Well, there's also the guards are back, and they've got new things to say.
Did the guards say anything interesting, Ryan?
The one guarding Babal offers you to experience the terrifying Fire and Ashes tour.
Cool.
It's been like 2 hours.
Yeah. And a guy was found dead there.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Unrelated. What's going on in this photo? This cool commemorative photo.
So it's the ambassadors, Paleno and Alba, and both of their best friends, the Steel Samurai.
Is that how he shows up?
That's why I said look at Paleno's radiant smile. Right, he's in the picture. Okay, carry on.
Tell me about these flowers.
They have
I haven't
flowers.
seen that kind of flower before.
Paleno has
That's an extra
lilies,
special one.
and something else. We do get the rundown of what the flowers are.
Phoenix Wright could never.
Edgeworth has somewhat of a
Literally.
green thumb. It's like roses, lilies, yada yada.
He says that he
rhododendrons.
knows about flowers because of the ones that Old Bag sends him,
Sure.
It's nice that he reads the label.
which
Yeah,
is
I guess.
yeah. But one of these flowers is kind of weird.
What's weird about it?
It not real.
That's not what you want for flowers. Who would put a fake flower in there?
It actually looks a lot like one of the knife handles that we saw earlier.
What a funny coincidence.
Maybe that's the flower the knife handle was based off of.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
They did a really good job.
No, this is the knife that killed Manny Gojin.
What?
He could have hit it better.
He
Yeah, he could have
arguably
not.
should have hit it better.
Just tuck it a little deeper in there. It's not difficult.
So bizarre.
That's it.
Like, this guy does not give a shit about evidence being everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Considering what the two main people who would help him hide evidence are now either dead or arrested.
But now here he comes.
Nope. We're going into a mind palace.
Yay!
We're gonna make some
This
connections.
is how we realised that the murder happened in the Theatrum Neutralis, and that's why Alba is worried about something. That is one thing we definitely figure
make
out.
two connections here. One is that the renovation of the embassy and the counterfeiting operation are connected in that the renovation of the Babal embassy meant that the operation had to be moved. And two was that Alba's motive to kill Cochin is that Cochin was trying to depose him as ambassador. And so he was trying to steal the real statue.
Which isn't a
Yes.
very nice thing to do.
And then Alba
I
arrives.
hate bullshit with my colleagues.
With all of his guys.
Wait, no, does Franziska show up first? I believe Franziska shows up first.
What does Franziska do here?
I think she brings some evidence or something.
Yes, she has retrieved the security camera footage for the entrances to both
Oh, yeah.
embassies. And so
yeah.
the first one to the Alabast embassy shows first Alba coming in, and then the Steel Samurais cohort coming in. By the way, I don't know if I actually saw a better shot of the Iron Infant, but it looks so fucked up, and I absolutely would never have come up with they disguised a statue as the Iron Infant theory had I seen it from this fucking perspective.
It's just a dolly.
It's just a doll
I
in a
thought you knew
huge
that.
carriage. No, the only memory I had of it was the side-on sprite of it, like, sticking out the top.
Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. And then we look at the Babal tape, and there's no one.
Nobody came or went at Babal. Which is
Weird.
weird, right?
It's so weird.
Because that means Manny never left the Theatrum Neutralis.
Yeah.
Even though we know he was at the Theatrum Neutralis to take a picture with the Steel Samurai.
Weird. Maybe Manny was smuggled.
Maybe.
Nah. He's probably just still in the theatre. Did anyone think to check?
Yeah, the corpse we found was actually Canny Mochin.
Oh. Okay, now Albert arrives. And he is here to tell us about video games.
Not video games, just games.
He talks about getting the high score. That is not something in games.
This is such a stupid analogy in the first place, because he really, really drives this analogy into the ground, and it just doesn't make any sense. What is it he specifically says? He says, once you've recorded a score, that same game can never be replayed again. Which is just a bad analogy. Because, like, I get what he means, but score attack games are specifically so you can replay them and get a higher score. Like, I get that he's talking about the, like, in that specific instance, you have to enter your score and start a new game. So you can't keep playing the same game to get your current score to be high. It's just dumb.
He's a gamer.
He's a gamer. He's the oldest gamer you've ever heard.
I bet his Gradius high score is crazy.
I think the only game he's playing is, like, PGA Tour and Tiger Woods Golf.
Oh,
Can you get high scores in
that's
those?
horrific.
Those are low scores.
Yeah, you know, good point.
Maybe he's a
What's
big
like
pinball
golf,
guy.
but the number goes up? Maybe he is a pinball wizard.
That's why he's so hunched over.
Maybe it's solitaire. He's talking about solitaire, because when you lose in solitaire, it's hard to do the same one again.
But when you win in solitaire,
win.
all of the cards bounce around and go.
It's so good.
It's so cool. Yeah.
We hear his objection for the first time. It's really fucking scary.
Oh, it's so
Objection.
horrible, actually.
Yeah.
Objection.
Objection.
It's the worst one of all time.
Then we get into the first of like 5 or 6 testimonies that we have to do with this guy.
Ugh.
God, this guy won't give up or shut up.
I think 5. Maybe I stopped counting.
If this were quicker, I think this could have been really funny.
Yeah.
Because the way that the entire rest of this case essentially plays out is you are like, okay, we finally got the thing that we need to pin all of this on Alba. And then you do your piece, you say your thing. He responds with some bullshit that makes Edgeworth immediately go, oh, fuck, he's completely flipped the situation around on us. I never stood a goddamn chance. And then a rotating list of previous people that have showed up before in this case coming in and being like, I've got the one thing you need to save your ass right now. And that happens,
so
I think,
much. Like 4
I
times.
think literally 6 times.
It's so grim.
Alright, well let's run through this quickly until we find a place to stop. Testimony 1 is that we established the motive to kill Kochin, is that Kochin was trying to steal the statue with the thief. Testimony 2 is the only time he could have killed Manny is in the theatre. And then Lang returns triumphantly.
Yeah.
Has been patched up.
With the weirdest angle.
Lang crotch shot.
He's gotten Alba fired.
This is nuts.
Mr. Alba.
Stripped of his title and his powers.
And he's like, do you not think for all of my family's history, we don't have people everywhere who can do our bidding? And I'm also like, this isn't really to the letter of the law, is it? We're just strong-arming people into getting a guy fired. Like,
Yeah.
Whatever you do, the
It can be
law.
done.
That's the law, though. Remember?
Whatever, yeah, anytime you
Oh, yeah,
ever
sorry.
do anything, that thing becomes law.
if you have enough friends, you can get anyone fired.
If
and
you
that's
have
fine.
enough friends, those friends can be the government, and the government, what do? They make the law.
But hang on, Alba was smuggling. How does that not make that legal?
He doesn't have enough friends.
Confused. So true. Losers don't get to break the law.
Yeah.
I think if I was an old man in this position, this is about the time where I would play the heart attack card. The fake heart attack.
Well, he's almost there. He does revert back to his snail form in this moment. Like, he hunches back over and closes his eyes again to look like a withered old husk. But I 100% believe they did this just because they were like, oh man, we got to use that animation one more time of him exploding out of his robe and standing up straight. It's so
Yeah.
funny because, like, literally everyone saw him do it the first time, and they're like, why do you think that you pretending to be a frail old man is going to work on us when we literally saw you do this the first time?
So funny.
He's so dumb.
It would have been really cool if, like, there was some kind of, like, external force and he goes back to pretending to be meek in order that they don't cotton on to all of this.
It's like
that might have
every
been fun,
time he
maybe.
sneezes, he changes
Mm.
from one form to another.
It's around this time when Gumshoe returns. He's found the Iron Infant's cart. But weirdly, he found it on the Babalese side in the open area.
Weird.
Which is kind of wild that we didn't fucking see that. It's
Yeah,
pretty
because it's
big.
not a small car.
Yeah, I can't believe the bullshit they play with this fucking cart.
So that's 2 on the people bursting in to save your ass counter so far.
Sure is. We determined in the third testimony that the body was moved with the samurai cart. Manny's body was moved into the Abalest side specifically. And then testimony 4 we can't get through. This one's rock solid. We're stuck.
If only there was... if only anyone could come in at the last
God.
minute with a decisive piece of evidence that could save us.
Jesus Christ.
God.
There is a part just before this where Alva says he's basically shit talking Damask II after accidentally killing him by accident. And Edgeworth says, "Is not every life precious?" Which I think is just a really funny line for him to say. Because he is definitely not a guy who thinks that.
And he has probably killed so many people.
I'm
On
still
purpose.
so, like... I don't understand why he hit him with the base of the statue. I know why is because to hide the bloodstain. But that is, like, the last place I would try and bonk someone in the head with something. A big statue.
What do you mean? What are you getting at?
He was holding the statue when he ran into Master Mask 2. I don't know whether he contrived this or not, but this was the situation. And then he walked up to Master Mask 2, lifted the statue up, and brought it down on his head. He didn't swing it or anything like that. He did the most awkward maneuver possible.
Ding.
Yeah.
It's really heavy.
Did you say ding, Jay? Is this are you cinema sensing me?
Yeah, I'm counting this
Ding.
cinema scenes.
Okay.
We've all done one at this
We've
point.
all
It's
done
okay,
one.
Harry.
All right.
You guys want to find out about a sopping wet baby?
The doors burst open. The Steel Samurai and the Pink Princess have arrived, with the Iron Infant in tow. Larry found the Iron Infant on the Battle East side. This is also very strange.
I do think if this wasn't, like, part of such a stupid gauntlet, it would be really funny that, like, imagine being Edgeworth and, like, the thing of your dreams is you're doing an argument and the Steel Samurai comes to save you, but then it's Larry.
Yeah. Nightmare.
It should be funny. But
It's like a bad
not,
dream.
because there's so much going
I
on.
feel like it is so indicative of this game's writing style that they took what was maybe like 2 or 3 lines of dialogue of Edgeworth being like a relatively casual Steel Samurai fan,
That is true.
and then turning that to be like one of the de facto aspects of his personality is that he is a diehard for this children's cartoon. Sorry, not
Yeah.
cartoon.
You know what? That's very, very true.
And so welcome to the second very contrived mechanism of this case.
And the third for the counter of people bursting in to save you at the last minute.
We're talking about water levels, gang.
This is really okay. Like, the pulley system was one thing, and I could suspend my disbelief for a lot of that because, like, yeah, it's like, as a video game, you don't need people to go into the mechanical complexity of actually rigging a pulley system MacGyver style in the middle of an office. But this is really stupid.
This rules. I love this.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
This is nuts to me. Like, I can't conceive of anyone successfully pulling this shit off.
So the only reason I can't see people pulling this off is because it's in, like, a garden, and both these embassies have, like, staff, presumably.
I would hope so. Yeah, I mean, they've got guards.
So the bits that I'm like, okay, I don't get, like, how do... First you've got to move the body into the garden, drop the body into the well, and have no one see it. Then you've got to drag the body out of the well.
So I think what is kind of set up by the game is that, like, not only were there the fires, but there was also the Yatagarasu sighting at Alabas, both of which were set up to just A, lower the water levels, but B, to get everyone out there. And earlier on in the case, they say that Alba helped get everyone out of the rose garden. So I'm presuming that's how they managed to set that up.
This makes more sense. Well, now I'm even more on board.
It's perfect and wonderful.
So, what happens is that the fires were intentionally set so that the embassy would use the water to put them out, lowering the levels of the fountains, which are connected, because the embassy was designed with a bilateral symmetry in mind. So, which means that the fountain, on the Abalestan side is mirrored with a fountain in the Babalese side, which is on the B stage.
This is overkill. Like, I get the bilateral symmetry thing, but I don't feel like your 30-foot deep reservoirs need to be connected by a secret tunnel.
And they are connected by a secret tunnel.
They are connected by a secret tunnel because of bilateral symmetry, of course.
I would love to say, like, oh, well, this makes sense, because you would think that, like, the people who were building the embassy might have been thinking about smuggling, and that would be useful. But when this was built, it was one embassy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the bit that boggles my mind, is when this was just Codopia, you just had two reservoirs on either side of a large field that were connected by a secret tunnel for no reason.
Well, okay, if we want to get into mechanical stuff, you might want to have a tunnel between them so that you keep the water level the same between both fountains.
Yeah, I get that part, but it doesn't need to be, A, it doesn't need to be big enough for a human to swim through. B, it doesn't need to be 30 feet deep.
You know.
You don't need a dedicated water reservoir for your big office.
Yeah, that is so bizarre that this is even described as being there in case of fires.
You don't need 60 square meters of water at any given time for the fire department to use specifically for your office. Just install a fucking fire hydrant.
Just have sprinklers.
You've got no whimsy.
I have whimsy, but
that's true.
You could incorporate the whimsy in a like, you know what would have been funny to me is if it were literally just like, it's bilateral symmetry, but when this was a single embassy, there was this really big swimming pool in the middle of the yard and that got split down the middle. So there's just like a wall cutting off half of the swimming pool. But what they don't tell you is that the wall doesn't extend under the water.
This is a universe with a big fucked up plane in it, though, so...
Yeah.
Alright, we all love the big
We're all getting a
fucked up plane.
cinema sins dig on this one. Except
we
Tara.
We did like the big fucked... Well, the big fucked up plane was like so ludicrous that it looped back around to being funny. This is just a fancy office.
Look, I love and respect 30 feet deep fountains. With the human-sized tunnel in them. So what happened was, Alba put the cart with Manny's body in it in the fountain. It sank to the bottom. The water level got dropped all the way down when they used the water to put out the fires. Sheena gets in the fountain and waits for it to lower, goes and gets the cart, brings it to the other side, waits for it to get refilled, and brings it out, uses the elevator to take it back up to Manny's office on the 3rd floor, and arranges the body, and then I guess brings the cart back out. And then we prove that this happened because we found the guitar pick in the garden, and it turns out to have been the missing fragment from the knife, except, here's my biggest cinema sins thing.
Ding.
The fragment was also missing in the bouquet photo. Yeah. So it fell off the knife while it was being transported, except it had already fallen off the knife like way before then. The timeline doesn't work out.
The timeline is a car crash, but...
Anyway, that's it. We got him. Except we didn't. Because he says...
No, we didn't,
Well, you don't know that I did it.
Yeah. And then, what's the next thing? Larry's there, and he talks about the dressing room and the samurai skewer or whatever.
Well, what happens is that Larry notices Kay for the first time.
We don't need to talk about this.
God. I did not... No.
It's one sentence and then Francisca threatens to kill him. So
I hope he does die for real.
I hope he does die for real.
Then we get to our next Alba testimony. I think this is the final one. He says that he was in the theatre the whole time. He watched a beautiful show. He loved the early summer rain jab at the end. It really moved him.
It really moved him. Except that none of that happened.
This man is full of shit.
We know that Larry didn't perform the early summer rain jab because that's a move that the Steel Samurai performs with his spear, which we would know as diehard Steel Samurai fans. And because Larry was fucking around earlier and bent his spear because he was playing with it like a toy, he wouldn't be able to use that move.
Mm-hmm.
He did something else instead. So we say to Alva, you are lying, you didn't see the show. And then he says, oh, you can't prove that I didn't see the show, you can just prove that I didn't see the very end of the show. I could have been there for the rest of it.
And then he pulls the classic bathroom excuse.
I went to piss.
Oh, I love it. I love the bathroom excuse.
I was embarrassed by the fact that I had to go pee, so I didn't mention it earlier.
Yes, at this point, I think it's Larry that reveals this, is that the early summer rain jab is actually top secret.
Yeah. He says Alba must have been a real die-hard fan because it's such a secret thing that only a true fan would have known, and then you realise that there is, no one could have known, not even a true fucking
It's not
fan.
necessarily secret, it's just that the staff came up with it last minute before the show and then couldn't do it anyway.
Because Larry fucked it up, but also they were embarrassed about it for some reason.
Yeah, they were like, let's not tell everyone we were supposed to be debuting a new move because we didn't do it.
And so what this is contriving is that the earlier summer rain jab was written on a whiteboard in the dressing room, proving that Alba knows about it because he was in the dressing room. And at this point, we see the dressing room in like a little CG image for the first time. This is the crime scene.
Here it is.
We do not go there.
The one place we can't go to. Yeah. Yeah.
We don't go
Fun.
inside the theatre, we don't go into the dressing room. We only
We
go
stay
to
here
the
outside.
outdoor part of the Babal side for like 5 minutes in total throughout this case.
And so we say that Manny was killed in the dressing room with the car, gets put in the car, and that was pushed out for the final scene. And then we get a CG of that scene. Do we see that earlier in the case?
I think we might. One of the first CGs in this case is the Steel Samurai one, when they're doing the show.
Because that car sure does look very lumpy in that scene, and I did not notice that. If that is,
I didn't
something we
remember it
saw.
being that lumpy, no.
So my question is, did they misdirect us this entire time? Because I certainly wasn't paying attention at this point in the case, because I was like, we're just doing goofy Steel Samurai shit.
That was your mistake.
Like I was perfectly primed to miss this detail if it was shown right at the beginning of the case, which is kind of a key detail to miss. And if they did show it, that's cool, and I was successfully misdirected. So I wanna give them props for that, even though what is happening right now is kind of sucking. But I like when there's a twist and it's on screen and it's easy to miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, Wendy pipes up. She's got some flirting to do also.
That's 5 for the counter now, right?
Yeah. She's like, I don't give a fuck whatever you were all talking about, but I got this extra special box for Edgeworth.
So dumb.
God, it's just endless. It's just so endless.
We do our last logic. We go to the Mind Palace for the last time here.
This is the last time Edgeworth will ever snack his Mind Palace.
Yeah.
Last thinking.
closing the door.
He's done with it.
Well, first of all, they talk about the snack box. This one has... So the snack box design has a fan on it with a circle painted on the fan. But this one that Wendy has, she claims is special because it has the red in the circles. So it's the flag of Japan, aka the Hinomaru, which they refer to as this for the rest of the case.
I think it's very interesting that they went through all of that trouble to localize the souvenirs and then seemingly were like, fuck.
Sometimes they just let it slip. It's like when they use the word Zaibatsu in one of the previous cases.
Well, yeah, but also the thing that I mean is like, we kind of talked about this last time because they talk about the Steel Samurai and the Jamming Ninja and how they're so popular in these two countries. And obviously they're like both obviously like Japanese properties.
Yeah.
And then they have the samurai dogs with the Japanese flag on them. And it's like...
You better hope these are Japanese properties by this point, because otherwise I've got some very major concerns about what American companies doing with the Steel Samurai property.
Yeah. Well, I guess that is maybe what's implied here, because... I don't know. That's something... This is cinema cincy as well, I guess, but...
Dang.
We're doing a lot of digs on this one, but you know what? It deserves it. So.
Yeah, it truly does.
They talk a lot about this flag. They talk about the red sun. So you do some connections. The first is that the hot dogs went in the cart, but also the body went in the cart, so they had to take the hot dogs out of the cart to put the body in.
Yeah.
The second connection is that when this happened, a drop of blood must have landed on one of the hot dog boxes. It's specifically filling the entirety of the inner circle on the fan, and nothing else.
This is the thing I hate the most, I think.
Yeah.
My suspension of disbelief just doesn't go this far. The notion that when a guy was murdered, he let fly a single drop of blood that perfectly filled in the Hinamaru on a fan, and then nothing else in that crime scene.
It turns out I wasn't the guy who got murdered.
Yeah, someone else's blood.
Oh yeah, that's true. It is someone else's blood. But who else could have been bleeding around all the time? Huh? What could have happened?
You know who loves to have a big injury?
You know who loves to have blood?
Albo, just will not give this up. It is...
It's... He's
It's rough.
I hate him.
I think that Ro and I both talked about
so
this, which
bad.
is that he keeps being like, you don't have proof. And it's like, we're not in court. Like, imagine the court argument after this is going to be the exact same thing over and over again. Like, exact repetition of what just happened.
We don't need proof.
You need reasonable doubt, or whatever
Yeah.
it's called. It's not called reasonable doubt, but you know what I mean. You need a reasonable amount of suspicion to be able to arrest him. Yeah. And then you build your case against him.
Means mode of opportunity have been a thing that have come up in previous Ace Attorney games. This guy has all 3, and nobody else has any.
Mm-hmm.
This is not like, oh, you have to be the guy that did it, and we can prove that you're the guy that did it. This is just literally nobody else has any justifiable reason for doing it except you. And by that logic, you are the most likely person that we can charge with this for the time being. You will get arrested and you will go to court and then be tried at court. You are not an ambassador anymore, so we can do this.
It's so stupid.
That's it. You're not an ambassador. We proved we believe you did a crime not on the soil of your home country, so we can try you in our country. So we're going to put you on trial. We don't need to prove it here and now that you're the guy that did it. Otherwise, what's the fucking point of taking you to court?
Also, he keeps saying like, oh, like I'm just gonna run away to Alabast if it was on the Alabastian soil, as if he's just gonna be able to get away with it. But then they keep going back and forth on whether that's actually true, because then Kay's like, oh, if you leave now, we haven't talked about this, but like people keep persuading him to stay for like various stupid reasons. But one of them is Kay being like, I've got some evidence that we stole. I don't even remember what evidence it is that I'm going to send to Alabast if you...
It's evidence that her father had on like everything.
Yeah.
That
She's
had
like,
ever
I'll
been
send it to
ordered by
Alabast so
the
you'll
boss.
get arrested there. And it's like, okay, well... So they will arrest him. And then the fact that Lang gets the Alabastian king to like revoke his ambassadorship, so that's the whole thing. So it sounds like if you'd let him leave and like we hadn't gone through all of this, he probably just would have got arrested and tried at Alabast anyway.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the case,
bizarre.
he gets tried in both countries. I guess
Yeah.
one for the murder and one for the smuggling. I'm so glad that they were
It's so
exploring
bizarre.
what it means to be beyond the law, though. It makes so much sense.
What? This is so stupid, like, because they could have, like, fucking tied this in with, like, I don't know, Edgeworth not wanting to let it go until he's done his perfect investigation, or, like, you know, him being like, if I'm gonna go past the bounds of the law, I'm gonna really make sure that like, do you know, there's other ways to do this. I also don't think it needed to be stretched out for this fucking
Oh
long.
no, not even a little bit.
This was like 5 hours of gameplay, and
my God.
4 hours of it was that Alba
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I said last time, like, I had to really figure out where to split this, because I knew that the back half of this case is entirely Alba, and I was like, we need something to talk about that isn't that, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave the last bit of the Shinar stuff in.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you did the right thing. And also, like, that was the point where they really could have got into the Yatagarasu if they really wanted this case to be that long. We did not need to have, like, 4 fucking hours of, like, extraterritorial rights and then just, like, side character
Well, I
bullshit,
think that the whole
throwback
point
nonsense.
of this was to be like, look, like, to explore that thing of, like, what does it mean for someone to be beyond the law? Because, like, Alba keeps saying that he is. And then if he was, there would be they would be able to explore that question that Edgeworth was like really struggling with. But because he's not, they don't. And you just do all of that frustration for nothing. He isn't above the law. So I guess this game, like, Edgeworth in that moment does suddenly seem to say, like, oh yeah, you do have to do extra legal things sometimes. But what the game actually says is, like, nah, like, no one is above the law because, like, this guy isn't, so, like, who cares? And also, like I said, they don't dig into it with the other characters that they could have dug into it with. So they really do seem to, like, just, in the end, just be like, nah, no one's above the law, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, we never actually see anyone who is above the law, so how can we explore that question of what you would do about them?
Just to put a bow on it, the last two pieces of evidence that we finally get him on is that he stupidly showed us his wound to corroborate his master story for some reason. To claim it was self-defense, but, like, who cares?
Yeah, he said that the guy, like, attacked him with his gardening shears, and then there was, like, a really grisly picture of his gardening shears covered in blood.
And you're like, well, okay, clearly that's your blood, because you got by Manny while you were killing him. And he's like, well, what the hell was Manny's weapon? He didn't smuggle one in. But we know that he already has a weapon that he can smuggle wherever he wants, because he has his key.
Oh, yeah.
And that's it. There's the piece of evidence that finally brings him down, is the Yatagarasu key. That we're still calling the Yatagarasu key, even though it really has nothing to do with the Yatagarasu. They took it.
We haven't mentioned his breakdown animation.
So we also haven't mentioned that he's been, like, every time you, like, get him, he, like, has this one sprite of him, like, being all cracked. And you can, like, there's a really nasty bit where it's, like, his cheek, and you can, like, see his teeth, like, continuing along behind his cheek, where it's, like, cracked away.
Yeah. It's because the idea is he's supposed to be made of wood, that it's still disturbing because it's like chunks of his face are flying off.
Yeah.
But the final breakdown, he, like, fully deflates from his stood up section, and it looks like he's just, like, the life has just gone out of him.
Gone. Yeah, he's literally been, like, essence drained.
You only see it for, like, 2 seconds before the screen fades out as well.
Ambassador Alba is no more. His soul has been siphoned from his body, and he is naught but a withered husk.
There's no real exploration of, like, why he does this, what his motivation is. There's, like, a vague thing where they talk about how he's not willing to take accountability for any of his crimes, and that seems to be, like, ultimately what does the psychic damage, where they're like, you are irrefutably guilty for all of this, and he kind of has to finally admit it. But, like, does he do it for money? Does he do it for power? It doesn't really seem
his overarching motivation for being in the smuggling ring is never really explored.
And there's a weird insistence for Edgeworth that he has to push Albert until he breaks.
Like a puppet. Like a toy.
Like a toy, yeah. And that's
a really funny
that's
bit
also weird.
Where, like Devon said, what you're trying to do is basically just prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that everything bad he's ever done, and just present it to him so he just has a full-on breakdown. And the way that you go about doing this is basically inputting the data of all of his crimes into Little Thief. And it's a really funny of the idea of Kay just being, like, using a semi-magical spy gadget to show someone everything bad that they've ever done in their life.
It's like the only way to know that you aren't just, like, I don't know, full of bullshit is to get that person to finally confess. Which we also know is bullshit in this universe because, like, Lana kept confessing and yet we know she didn't do it. So it's all just very
I would have
stupid.
liked this to be something that was taken to, like, the logical extreme where Edgeworth has to go into genuinely unethical territory to get someone to confess to the bad things they've done. And it gets to the point where he's having introspective moments of being like, man, it's really fucked up what I'm having this person go through just so that I can get a concrete verdict on every crime they've ever committed when I'm only here to actually charge them for the one thing. Like, that would be compelling.
Yeah.
That's
And
it.
they go to court.
Flash forward, I think 2 days.
I didn't think about that. It must be like that, though.
I'm pretty sure it's March 17th. The crimes take place on the 14th. It ticks over to the 15th while we're investigating. I'm certain it's March 17th at the courthouse.
Well, we know they got a quick turnaround.
We are preparing to be the prosecutor in this case. And everyone comes in and celebrates.
Woo!
What's the trial gonna be
Get
like?
that man to jail.
Who cares? We don't see it.
There's a line here that's like, oh, okay, now you're really going to see what Edgeworth is like because he's so different during investigations, which is, I don't know if that's them trying to be like, this is why he's an actual dickhead in the trilogy, because that's just what he's like in court.
Yeah.
It all goes to his head when he's up on the bench.
He becomes an actual piece of shit. But they also seem excited for Kay to see that, which is really funny.
Oh, one thing we didn't mention that happens shortly before Albert has his soul taken out is that Lang says a swear.
Oh, yeah, he calls him a bastard.
You can't do that. He almost gets in a lot of trouble for doing that.
Oh, he almost gets in so much trouble.
Yeah.
Also, Lang has been walking around on a leg with a bullet in
He
it.
comes
this entire
back
time,
not long
just to
after
throw that
he
out
gets
there.
shot, and he's just like, fine.
So wild.
He says some wolf thing. Wolf has to continue
a lot
the
of wolf
hunt,
things.
otherwise they'll lose the scent or something. Another thing we didn't mention is that Edgeworth does do a thing towards the end of the Albert situation where he's like, what would that man do? Because for some
That
reason
man.
they can't talk about Phoenix directly.
They can't
in
mention
this
Phoenix's
game.
name, and there is straight up a point. Is it in the credits or is it?
I believe so.
Yeah, it is in the credits. Yeah. I am thinking the one in the credits because it's really funny, but we'll get to that. Is there anything else to mention about the pre-court stuff?
I don't know, this court seems really flat for me, so I didn't make any real notes about it.
It's pretty flat in general. It's a pretty flat ending overall.
Through this whole part of the case, like, people
Yeah.
just keep saying to Edgeworth, like, yay, you're gonna do it. You're
Yeah.
so good. Do it for us. And obviously that continues into this court scene as well. And it's just like, I don't know why they were doing this. I feel like it's just very much like making you as the player feel good, I guess. It really doesn't do anything for me.
You did it and you won.
You did it and you won.
You're so law.
I don't need the game to narratively tell me how good I did. I've got Steam achievements for that.
We didn't mention that Alba's, like, final line is a fucking Scooby-Doo reference.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
stop.
yeah.
That made me
Pretty bad.
so pissed
Pretty bad.
off.
Fuck, yeah.
It's really bad.
He straight up
What
says
the
I would
fuck
have
is
gotten
this
away with
game?
it too if it wasn't for you meddling prosecutors.
Which is insanely funny. There's only one prosecutor in the first place.
Not true. There's two.
Who is the
There-
other
there
one?
are two.
Francesca.
Francesca.
Oh yeah, okay. Why is Fran getting credit for this, but not Lang or Kay or?
Because they're not
That's pretty
prosecutors.
much the only person I want to give.
Oh, Wendy Old
yeah, I
Mag.
was gonna say there are other people. That's the only people I want to
Maybe
give
Alba
credit to.
thought Wendy was a prosecutor. Anyway,
Maybe.
this sucks in a lot of different ways, because the idea of taking the final case of your video game and the final boss, essentially, and reducing their, end quote, down to literally a Scooby-Doo reference, really
It's
indicates
so
just,
bad.
like, a complete lack of faith in your own writing that just make this entire thing seem farcical.
Yeah. I mean, they literally reduced him to a Scooby-Doo villain. That is what has just happened.
Yeah.
Like, within the text.
Like,
it's so bad.
fucking goofy. And I said in my notes, I would have been fine with that if they did it at, like, an earlier point for a less significant character. Like, if fucking Ernest Amano did that, I would have been, kind of funny, especially considering that case takes place in a haunted house. That would have actually been
Yeah.
really good. I don't know why they didn't do that. But, like, they decided to do it here with the big finale of being like, look, it's references. It's like, yeah, we know it's references. Like, 75% of your entire narrative has just been built on references.
So bad. By that, I mean this case is smoking six, though.
Well, hold on, we're not there yet. We got credits.
Funky credit music. It's good credit
We
music.
got to check in with every character
No,
in the
no,
entire
no, wait,
game.
before we do credits, there's one other thing at the court, which is that Gumshoe's like, I prepared the ticker tape, which implies that. Now, it does confirm Gumshoe is the ticker tape guy. We like that. It implies that he supernaturally, instinctively knows what the correct verdict is and throws ticker tape when it's gone right. Because he's only thrown ticker tape for Phoenix so far, because Phoenix has always been in the right, except for the 2-4, in which I believe there's no ticker tape. So what's up with that? So what do they do? What do they mean by this?
It's not worth thinking about, because if I have to think about it, I'm going to get angry and confused.
Gumshoe is the only person who actually knows what justice means.
Oh, yeah.
God, I hate
No,
that.
that's fine.
Oh,
I
Lang
think.
shows up here, by the way.
He keeps giving guns to children.
Well, Lang shows up to Glaze
That's
Edgeworth. This is
justice.
part of what I
Yeah.
got pissed off at earlier.
He starts calling him Mr. Edgeworth instead of Mr. Prosecutor as like a mark of respect.
This is where we get to a part of my notes, which I have not got to yet, which is that Langworth would be so much healthier. But sadly, it is not the superior ship.
It's true. It is true.
And this also lets me get to my point on how out of Lang and Godot of just like fucking ridiculous bisexual energy, Lang also does it better. He's superior of the two.
I agree, but I still think I like Godot's bit better. I like the the coffee thing
fair.
more than the wolf thing.
Yeah.
I think that Godot has higher highs with the Rondolite scene,
But much lower
Yeah.
lows.
but much lower lows with a lot of other stuff.
terrible
Lang
lows.
is a feminist,
Lang,
Which
Lang
is-
is a feminist.
which makes him
Just
a
like
better
Dr.
character.
Eggman.
Just
Yeah.
like Eggman. Is Eggman a feminist?
I'm gonna Google Eggman feminism, 1 sec.
He's a single dad.
That's
Aw.
definitely not
Right, I
inherently
already love him.
feminist.
Right.
Hold on. Eggman feminist did autofill on my thing. Yeah, here we go. Got it. Eggman is a romanticist, a feminist, and a self-professed gentleman.
All right. Well, there it is. There you have it.
Yeah, if
There it
Google
is.
says so, then it must be true.
What the hell is this from?
This is from the Sonic Adventure guide.
Sonic Adventure 1?
I think Sonic Adventure 2. That design looks...
Same design, I think, across both games.
Yeah, but it just looks like a nicer model. Oh, someone drew Dr. Eggman as a girl with big boobs. That's awesome.
Okay, we gotta get
Aw.
back to the case.
Uh,
We've got credit scenes. Did anyone write down anything?
So I wrote a note for this.
I did.
I've got a couple
No,
of them.
because my notes were, I do not care for these credits, please let it end. When the whole game feels like the credit scene, it's just kind of mindless.
That's a
Oh my
very
God.
good point.
I'm glad that Rhoda got a win in the end and is now a very successful artist online.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I'm glad that
It's really
Meekins got
good.
fired. Fuck that guy.
What was the
Yeah.
line that Meekin said? Because, like, his dialogue in this game is so fucking good.
He is like one of the few characters who benefits so much from just being written like a hugely exaggerated version of himself.
Yeah, he said
Yeah.
the first thing he says in all caps is, "This little patrolman has been fired as of today, sir."
Oh.
And then he says something about his life falling into a dark void or something. I like that me and Jay both said the exact thing about how Emma's comments in the credits are just, "I wish I was in this game more."
Yeah, it's so sad.
It's so sad.
I wish
I'm
you were in
certain
this game
she's going to
more
be in the
too.
next one. Yeah, I've got a feeling she's probably going to be the weird girl in the next one.
You don't think Kay's gonna come back?
Kay might come back, but I don't think she's going to be, like, the main weird girl in it.
Fair enough. Before I played these games, I thought that Emma was gonna be a weird girl in at least one of them. I vaguely knew about Kay. She's on the box, you know.
Here's what I'm basing this off, Hera, is that I'm just looking at the banner art for the Ace Attorney Investigations collection, and I'm like, like, of all of these characters, the ones that they decide to feature are, a lot of characters that I don't recognize, meaning they're all in the second game, Lang, and Kay, and Emma. And I was like, Emma is in one case of the first game for a grand total of, like, maybe 8 minutes.
Yeah.
I think she is going to have a more prominent showing.
I hope so.
I hope so, too. I want to know what the deal is with that monster on
What?
the top left.
Hold on. Missile's in this cover art.
Yeah, Missile was yeah, but that's just because that's Gumshoe's, like, attaché.
You think Missile's gonna come back?
I think Missile is going to become, like, a core mechanic of the second game.
Okay.
Ooh.
I think he's going to be there to help sniff out clues, and you can, like, use him like you would use Emma's tools in Case 1-5.
Okay.
Plano has set up the embassy as a murder hotel situation, much in the way of the Gatewater Butler.
Awesome.
This is when I stopped loving him. Oh, wait.
I knew he was about that. I knew that was what the kind of thing that he would
I
do.
mean, he would do anything for tourism, basically, so it makes sense.
I think him and the Fae should team up.
Say more about this.
Well, they're both, you've got, 152 ways to make money, and then you've got Polano. Like,
They need more
Get that
tourism
shit
at their spiritual
fused.
sites and their temples and stuff.
they need so much tourism so they can make money.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and, maybe that would, put off murderers from doing that there.
Who is it that talks about Phoenix in the credits? Is it Maggie?
It's
Fucking
Larry.
Larry.
Oh, it's Larry.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Larry.
I legitimately think he doesn't remember Phoenix's name.
It's so fucking wild to me because Phoenix is supposed to be Larry's best friend and the person who saved him from being charged with murder multiple times, and he does not know his name.
I know it's so, like, if you want to play this game without playing the others, you can do that, but I think that's cowardice.
That's like anyone who knows anything about Ace Attorney as a series knows the protagonist of the first 3 games' name.
I feel like using his name doesn't even saying, "Oh, that blue guy." Like they don't know who the fuck that is anyway. So
That's Sonic the Hedgehog, baby.
That's Sonic the Hedgehog.
Larry Butts' best friend.
It's so that you can point to
both
the
like
screen
hot
and be like,
dogs.
"Oh, I know him. I know the blue guy." But like,
Yeah.
why?
People love doing that. People
It's
love
so
to do
frustrating.
the Leonardo meme.
Yeah. Does anyone have any other notes about the credits?
Nothing
Well,
pertinent.
There was no
Edgeworth's
ghosts.
last
There were no
like
ghosts.
little thought is basically, well, I want to believe that the law works, which is about the recap, the cap off of that discussion that we've been having that I expected.
This is the post-credit scene back in the prosecutor's office, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, where Kay says, "Yeah, I'm still gonna be a big thief and do stealing."
Yeah, Kay says that she's not going to do anything until she finds her other 2 legs of the Atagarasu. And then there's immediately a shot of both Edgeworth and the Gumshoe in frame at the same time.
It's a horrible idea. I did literally make a note right at the beginning of this case of being like picturing the Yatagarasu, but it's Kay, Edgeworth, and Gumshoe, but they're so bad at it.
Which is like, I know they're not going to do this in the next game because maybe they will. Everyone likes the next game, right? So maybe that's why. But it seems like they're not setting up for this, but this is a great little teaser, which is fun.
Why do you say it seems like they're not setting up for it?
Because that's against the law.
Okay. Has Edgeworth not argued that anything he does is legal?
I guess you're right.
He, as a prosecutor, is an extension of the law, which means the law is, in his hands, a flexible medium.
You know what, sure, I'll say it. If this is what happens in the next game and they become the new Yatagarasu, I think that's a very cool.
That is a very cool. They just need to do something that changes Edgeworth's character. He's too far gone to be the person that he was in the original trilogy. But they're also, like, so scared of making him into something else.
However, to my previous statement, I do also think the idea of Kay being the new Yatagarasu inheriting the will of 3 separate people is also very compelling. I know they're literally throwing that out the window here, but I like that idea. She also says that she wants the new Yatagarasu to be cute and young like her. So maybe we'll get
Which
a
is why
different...
the only people fit for the job are Edgeworth and Gumshoe.
The new Yatagarasu is going to be Kay Faraday, Emma Skye, and... who else? Maya Fey.
This is what I'm saying.
And Edgeworth's not even going to be in the next game.
I want it to. I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be Maya. I want it to be like a completely like you would never have seen this one coming. But I'm trying to think of what other like teen girls are in that age range, and the only person I can think of is Regina Berry,
Great.
which would honestly be like she's an acrobat, right? Or is she just an animal tamer? I think she's just an animal tamer.
I want to give a small disclosure for the next game, which is that A, I don't remember it very well at all, and B, that I have not played the new translation. So I could not tell you shit about shit. I remember like literally like the final plot point. And everything else is a fun
That's
experience.
very exciting.
So.
I have no prevalent theories about what the next game is going to bring us. I know there's going to be a big animal.
I've played Ace Attorney Investigations 2 recently more than any other Ace Attorney game because not only did I play it for the podcast, I then almost immediately replayed it for when the new translated version comes out. So I have a lot of memories of that game.
Here's the thing. Are we immediately going from this game into the sequel? Is that like how the chronology continues?
Do you want to know?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I feel like I shouldn't have answered that because now in the future, if I ever don't want to answer something, it means that something is happening.
I mean, we're literally playing it next, right? So, like,
Yeah.
viewers will find out in 2 weeks.
Something's happening. In 2 weeks, something will happen. I mean, we could also throw in another one of the theatre productions in between.
We could. I kind of like doing it between collections.
Like sagas.
Yeah, this is a very direct sequel. Well, I have some thoughts about the state of this as a sequel, but it is very like, it was released in a duology.
It is
recently
the second of the Ace Attorney Investigations games.
It is the second of the Ace Attorney Investigations games, and after that we'll be moving on to the Apollo Justice trilogy, so there's more of a clear-cut line there.
Yeah.
I think the downgrade from this to Apollo Justice in terms of mechanical complexity is gonna make getting through the early parts of Apollo Justice really difficult.
You don't think they're gonna better leverage the power of the Nintendo DS?
In Apollo Justice?
Yeah, you don't know.
I don't.
What if Apollo Justice's whole thing is he's got a bunch of gadgets and gizmos?
Then he is the most unassuming Inspector Gadget that I've ever seen in my life.
What if he's a little android boy?
What if he's like Astro Boy or Pluto?
Right. Okay, do we have any closing thoughts on this game?
Yeah, wish it had a thematic
I
core.
have some closing thoughts.
Yeah. Wish I had a thematic core.
Yeah.
I think the main thing that I wanted out of this game is just, like, in terms of what it could have done better, I just think it needed to be a lot tighter. Like, if you're gonna base your entire structure around referential callbacks and fan service to something that existed previously, that's fine, but you can't be fucking around with a guy for like an hour and a half trying to get him to talk about bullshit to like have a cavalcade of people come through and save you at the last minute over and over again. It's not fun.
I've just remembered that after the Investigations collection was announced, I tweeted like 8 times, Capcom, it's not too late to let me edit this game. It is now too late to let me edit this game, but maybe there are other people out there making video games who need a good editor.
Ace Attorney 7's right around the corner.
Capcom, it's not too late.
Not too late, Capcom. Ace Attorney Investigations 3, it's coming.
Oh, can you imagine?
God, I think that'll fix me. My closing thoughts on this game are complicated, as I'm sure everyone can imagine, which is that I honestly think the first 3 cases... How many cases are in this game?
5.
Is it 4 or 5? Okay, the first 4 cases I genuinely find fun and entertaining, and there's enough puzzles and just silliness and fun new characters that I do enjoy. I think they're great. I think it's a very entertaining game up until that point. This case is so just underwhelming in every possible way that, like, if I could just snip it off from the game, that would be great. Like, I think, honestly, if I was just playing through this not for a podcast, I probably would have stopped at the case before this and just been like, that's fine, I don't need to go back over this again. I think it is a wild choice to just make a game that is ultimately fan service. And I understand it from a money point of view, and I understand it from, like, a quick turnaround kind of view, and, like, whatever. I mean, I don't know if it was quick turnaround, I can't say that, but it is, like, daydreaming about this world. And there are positives and negatives to that. I love it. It brings me so much nostalgic joy. And also, I will say this playthrough, I did find myself being like, wow, I'm really craving some good writing now, which is maybe not a bad thing. And that's, to be honest, what I always feel about media that is just fun, entertaining slop. At the end of it, I'm like, I'm so glad that's over, so I can do other things now. I think they reduce characters to tropes a lot, which, again, can be fun for a short time, and then it gets boring. But I still love it. So that's
So Smoking Six style.
Remarks, I guess. It's Smoking Six style. It's a thing. It's fantastic.
I think one of my major complaints about this game is that I really like Kay Faraday as a character, and I was really excited coming into this series of the potential of more time with Franziska. But what transpires is that in this last case especially, we have Franziska, we have Gumshoe, and we have Kay all in the same place, and it's so muddy that we don't really get resolutions for any of them. Kay kind of has a resolution, but it's pretty weak as far as resolutions go. And again, I really like Kay as a character, and we only really have her in 2 cases. I don't really count case 4 that much because she's a child and she's not really present that much. So I'm hoping we see more of her because we need some kind of development for her, I think. And also to have her in a place where she can shine on her own and also where she has already been introduced so we can get something to chew on.
She could be a protagonist of one of these kind of games.
And so that's where I felt like this case really dropped the ball. Was we just had too much and it was too messy. I mean, I tend to have a habit of not liking the last case in a game anyway, just because it's too like there's always a point at the end where we're just waiting on someone to burst through the doors, you know?
And that happens so much.
Yeah, they do it a lot in this one. So I was already like, I'm probably not going to like this one as much as the rest of the ones in the game. And I'm really torn on this case specifically because I did really like the Shinar Callisto U stuff, but the Alba stuff pissed me off so much that I think I've fallen on the other side of it. But yeah, I think in terms of a complete game, I liked the mechanical stuff a lot. It was very exciting to be able to walk around and examine stuff, although I think maybe in retrospect that led to like less detailed scenes. Like when we just had the shot where we could like move around the cursor and point at stuff, that we were able to look at more stuff and have like more packed scenes. So maybe I'm looking for some kind of like compromise or where we can like walk around and then also have more detailed scenes. I don't know. But the logic system was really good. I like that a lot. And just, you know, having changes of scenery outside the courtroom was kind of nice. I kind of miss being in court now.
We'll be back soon, Hera.
But it's a fun video game. There were definitely times where I had a lot of fun with this, and it's hard to look back right now where I'm on the end of a case that I really didn't like, but I did really enjoy the other ones. Anyone else have any thoughts? Or do we want to do ratings, and are we rating the case and the game, or just the case? I don't know.
Oh man, rating the case and the game we could do. Did we do that before? I don't remember doing that before.
No, but we could
I
start.
don't remember.
Oh man.
No, we should just do the case.
Yeah, because we'll do a hierarchy of all of these at the end. The last 5 episodes of this podcast are just going to be us rating stuff.
How many different ways can you rate a series?
Well, we were gonna do it by case, character, and
Jesus.
sex appeal.
You've
And
just
perverts.
introduced
And perverts.
rating the game specifically rather than the case.
Okay, well add that to the list then.
Great.
Well, that's a really easy one because that's like what 12 entries.
It depends on whether we all have to agree on stuff, which is what you've said before.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, and scares me.
It'll be a battle to the death.
It will be me just agreeing with whoever is loudest in the room, and then 3 hours of fighting.
Well, what if we say that investigation sucks?
Yeah. What if everyone else in the room very quietly
Curing
says that
Devon's
investigation
people
sucks?
pleasing by trying to all agree that investigation sucks.
Good God. I'm sorry, I refuse to answer. Plead the fifth.
You can do that?
My heart.
No one knows that you can do that.
Alright, the ratings. I'm gonna go first. Mine was red. I said before I was very torn about this case. I liked some of it a lot, and I didn't like some of it even more. And that's where I am.
Fair.
It's probably the most torn I've been on a case.
I think that's your only red of this game as well, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it is.
pretty good overall for...
Probably
For
the best
investigation.
overall so far.
It's crazy to
Yeah,
me.
especially considering this game has
I
5
mean,
cases.
I completely understand your reasoning, but like emotionally, it's crazy to me. I think that, you know, I've been saying this whole time that like this is a good one to play after the trilogy because you get the fan content investment. And I think the thing about that for me is like it really reveals. I mean, this is the point of my rating scale, right? Is that it's completely personal. But I think it's interesting in that, like, for me, I feel like I'm like, okay, well, play this when you're like 19 because that's like after you finish the trilogy. Like, that was the moment for me in which I was like really into this fan servicey style of thing. Whereas you can tell that like Devon is still into that. So it's like, what, you know, what age were you into this and why are you continuing to be into this? But yeah, my point still stands, I think. Hey, Devon, hey, what's this case?
It's with a very heavy heart that I say this. Oh, my cat's attacking my microphone. I think that's fair. It's with a very heavy heart that I say this case is smoking 6 style, but I'm not happy about it. I'm allowed to be conflicted about things, I think.
You've put on your petard.
I really
I thought Hera was going to say, like, you've been so resilient this whole season.
You've been so
I have.
brave,
I've
and now you
been
blew
so
yourself up with a
brave.
grenade.
And now I put on my, like, dunce hat in the corner, and I just sit down
Round
and
wig,
I go,
big
yeah,
red
I did
nose."
this to myself. Painting the makeup on.
Sorry, a
Oh.
petard is a bomb?
Yes.
Oh.
What did you think it was?
I
A
don't
piece
know
of
either.
clothing.
No, it's like a grenade.
Yeah, me too.
I couldn't have made a single guess as to what it was.
That's why I said the grenade thing. Yeah, being hoisted by your own petard means being blown up by your own explosive.
But see, my
That's also not what I thought the word
what
hoist,
hoist
meant.
was like.
Hoist is
like
to
you
lift
flag.
into the air. That's the weird thing.
You
Yeah,
hoist
you get
flags.
blown up by it.
I guess.
You blow up flags?
I wouldn't say I was
hoist-
like
No, you
levitated by a
blow up.
bomb.
To hoist to me involves some kind of like rope and pulley mechanism, like Hera's to the
Right.
flag.
It is just a force lifting you into the air. which
No,
a bomb
according
can
to
do.
Oxford Languages Dictionary, is to raise something by means of ropes and pulleys, which is exactly what I said.
Huh.
This grenade has got
Yeah.
arms.
This grenade has got a pulley system used by shooting two crossbows.
Oh, it's a phrase from Shakespeare's Hamlet. That checks out.
I thought
Oh, so that guy's to blame.
I don't know why I specified Shakespeare's Hamlet as if there's other Hamlets.
Okay, well you don't put your
Gross.
petard on. You've dropped it on the floor.
Move it on.
Bang.
Ro, how do you rate this case?
It's beige.
Yeah.
It's beige. This case had me feeling, I don't know. I think the most damning thing I can say about this case is that I know I'm gonna completely forget this case even existed in like a week or two. Which is like an extremely damning thing to say for the final case in one of these games.
I'm going to remember parts of this case for very specific reasons that will not pay off for literal years, I think.
Can I say some parts of this
Okay.
case that I want you to remember?
Right.
Basically, that whole conversation that made no sense with Edgeworth being like, what is the
What is a
right way
man?
to... what is a man? What is the right way to approach justice?
Right. Okay.
He did this bit already. He did this in the original trilogy.
Well, this is something that the game is consistently concerned with, and I think this has been the biggest miss. And I think that knowing that it's been consistently concerned with this, it's not a spoiler to say it will continue to be consistently concerned with this, and so I want to weigh it out with the rest of them.
Which means it doesn't matter that it's concerned with this in this case, because it's never not concerned with this.
Well, it matters in that, like, it's worth comparing how each of the games address it.
I guess that's, yeah, because then we can just look at this one and be like, this one did it really badly.
Perhaps. Alright.
That's it. We got another one in the books. We're 4 down.
Yep.
Done. Woo!
So
Go gang.
we are, well, like a third of the way through?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. You'll never know.
Something like
I'll
that.
never tell.
Oh, I can say she's so round.
Alright, let's get out of here so the devil can hang out with the
We'll
cat.
get the fuck at it. I'm gonna go lie down for an hour now.
Have fun.
I'm going to a cat birthday party this evening.
Hell yeah.
What is my life? I love it.
Drive safe, everyone.
Drive safely.